Hey guys, how's it going? Today I am trying to clean up my propagation area. As you can see, it is a mess over here. And I need to power wash this area. Since it doesn't get a lot of air circulation, you can see it's starting to get green and algae and moldy. So we're going to have to power wash this area. So I have to clean up my propagation area. I've moved a couple of the things over here that are salvageable, still doing good. Put some stuff in the Tupperware over here. Of course, this is the pile that did not take or did not root. Look at this one, it still looks healthy, and I guess I could salvage it. It has pushed out a new growth, but it's rot from the bottom. So I could cut it off right around here and re-stick it into the soil or medium, whatever I'm using, and then try to reroot it since it's got enough energy to push out new growth from there. But this is all the cutting that did not take, as you can see over here. So I have different varieties of medium that I use. Sand, I use sand over here, a little bit of soil with lots of perlite, and then one that's full perlite. So this one is where I put all my rose cutting. It was doing good, and then we had a couple of days of heavy rain and humidity, and it rotted a lot of the cuttings, as you can see. But when I was pulling some of them out that are still green, you can see the medium definitely works. I've got root on this one right here, but the dieback is still happening up here, so I'm hoping to cut that off, and then I'll put this into a pot and let it do its thing. Here's another one that just has one little root, but you can see all the callus over there, so that's doing good. Now just remember, not every rose is easily rooted. So I've got some that are and some that aren't. Here are some of them that were doing good. You can see it has a little bit of roots, but then it got too much rain. I don't know if maybe the perlite held on to too much water, which I wouldn't think so because it drained really quickly. But I don't know if the humidity caused it to rot. Over here, as you can see, this one had roots and it was doing great. And then again, being stuck in this medium, I don't know what happened, but it definitely either drowned or something. I'm guessing it's drowning. That's why it died back all the way. So this is the one that I'm going to be trashing, and here's a couple more I'm going to just pull up and see how they do. This one had callus on it right there. But of course, see, I didn't think that the perlite would hold so much moisture. But because I garden in zone 8A and it's really wet, not all the time, but a lot of the time. Look, this one also, it definitely calloused over, started rooting, but you can see it's wet right there. So that means this medium perlite, well, that one didn't even take at all, is too wet for it. Oh man, there's another one I lost. I should have checked on these probably a lot sooner than I did. So here's another one that started rooting out, but then it got moldy and yucky. This one, I don't know why it held on to so much of the perlite, but it doesn't look like it did anything. Just held on to that. So this is what I usually do, and I go through, I stick as much as possible in there. Okay, so this one is not a rose cutting. It is actually a panicle hydrangea that I stuck in the ground. It looked like it rooted, and then it grabbed onto the perlite. So it looks like it's dead by all pretense. And there's the roots. I don't know, the roots probably have rotted. But just to be sure, I usually take my fingernail and then I do a little swipe. See how it's still a little bit green? That means it has some life in it. Though it looks pretty sad. It's not very good green. So I might just plant that in somewhere and see if it'll take. And that's about it for this flower bed. Well, this medium bed, propagation area. Now I do have others. Okay, so here is another one that just has perlite as a medium. Let's see, this one definitely did not take. It just died completely. This one looks like it took, though slow. Hang on, sorry. Get a little bit more comfortable. Okay, so if you look at it, it has roots and it has one little well, actually it has callus and it has one tiny little root, which I think I might have just disturbed right there. Yep, I think I broke it. Darn it. There's a tiny little root that I just broke. Well, that's poop. Okay, so since it still has callus on it, I'm gonna pot it up and see. Here's one over here that looks like it got some roots and then it died. So it rotted out. This one didn't take at all. So it's really, for me, it's a hit and miss. But depending on the variety, some are a little bit, of course, easier to do and other are not. That one just completely died off. Alright, let's look at this one. It's still green. And it has a little tiny shoot right there. Can you see it? Right there. There we go. So if I gently tug at it, here, hang on, let me move. Oh, here's another one I lost. Because this one had roots. But I don't know, I thought perlite was supposed to drain through, and I guess it does retain a little bit moisture, but that looks a lot in order for everything to rot out. Ooh, here's one right here. This one I've got some roots, some really nice roots to it. So this one I'll definitely plant up. So look, this is all the ones that I've gotten. But as you can see, there's a lot more that went bad than good. But I will take one or two out of the whole bunch. Ooh, this one seems... I'm gonna take a little bit of the ones from the side that I know are dead. This one's the same. It looks like it started rooting. And then it died out. Okay, so it looks like I have 3 good ones in here. I'm kind of afraid to pull it out because I'll damage the roots, but I do it just for you guys. Whoop, see? Here's one that I thought survived, but it looks like it started to rot out. Bummer. I think I might have to check on these, or maybe I made it too deep. Maybe I made it too deep, and so the bottom of it holds more moisture. Maybe that could be the case. Oh, I hope this one's okay. It looks like I might have some sand underneath there. I didn't realize I had mixed it up with sand and perlite. Maybe that combination is too much, but look at this one, you guys. Isn't that beautiful? Now I have another rose. Now I've just got to figure out how to keep it alive in my new place until I can get it into the ground. Sorry, this one feels like it's a little bit tied down in there. Okay. So it looks like in this one I mixed sand and perlite. So it's all experimental, and also wherever you garden, whatever, like in the dead of summer, it's so hot and humid, they need to have something that doesn't retain water at all. And then as the summer progresses and you get to a little bit of cooler weather, I changed up the median. Like if I use this median here in the fall winter time, it's gonna get too dry because it doesn't have the moisture like it does in the summertime with the humidity. It'll actually dry all the cutting out. So if I use medium like this in the summertime, most of the cuttings will rot out because it holds too much moisture. And this is just potting soil with lots of perlite. So in the fall and winter time, I usually tend to go to this medium because it holds the moisture and then I don't have to water as much. Let's go look at this one real quick. I just don't want to damage the root. This one actually, look at that one, you guys. This one actually has longer roots, feeding roots, all of that. But you see, it looks healthy, the root wise, but half of the stem has died back. You see that? So it literally split the stem down the middle. That's kind of weird, and you can't really even cut that off because you don't know what you'll be cutting off. It looks like I got a couple of bugs on there. But that one has the best roots out of all of them. But yet, look at it. It's struggling with the half and half. Half died back, half healthy. It's like it can't decide what it wants to do. Should I die or should I live? So it's like it's a struggle between life and death, literally. Okay, and then one more. Ooh, this one looks good. Look at all that callus. So I'm definitely going to plant that one up. So it looks like this medium, which is sand and perlite, seems to be a good mix. Maybe don't have such a deep dish. Maybe use like, see how this one is this deep, and then you can have this one over here, even though they look the same size, but you can see how one is a lot deeper than the other one. And this one over here, I have other cuttings that I stuck. I'm not sure how well it did, even though it looks healthy. This is like, we went to a garage sale and this lady gave me some green tea. She called it a green tea tree. I haven't really Googled, I haven't really done anything, but she said that the smell is so amazing. I asked for some cutting and she was more than happy to give me some. So even though it looks healthy, I honestly, sometimes they trick you. Well, it looks healthy. You don't know if it actually has any roots or if it's really doing anything or if it's just using the stored up energy in its stock to keep everything green. But I'm hoping that it's doing something in there. I know that this one here is not a green tea tree. It's just the panicle hydrangea and it's doing good. So I might leave this in here because I have enough in here that would make it worthwhile to keep it. And then I got some more cutting that's just in sand over here. I think I'm gonna leave this in here because the pot is big enough. But you can see this one over here has some dieback. So that one I'm gonna get rid of. This one looks like it has some dieback too. So you never know what survive and what take. So just put it in the ground and let it do its thing. Over here I have camellia. I have the toughest time with camellia. I was only able to propagate like 3 or 4 out of like, oh my gosh, I can't even begin to tell you guys how many cuttings I took. I took literally probably like hundreds of cutting. And I just stick it in and hope that it'll make, look at that, there's a hole right there. Now I'm afraid to stick my finger in there because I don't know what's in there. What can I use? See that hole? Like, what the heck made a hole that big in there? Definitely don't want to stick my finger in there. How deep does it go? So it looks like an animal buried itself in there. Now I'm kind of scared. But anyways, these are all my camellia cutting, and they look good. They look healthy. They're sitting up, you know, new stuff, but you don't know what is actually rooted and doing it and what actually just has stored energy in its stem to just keep pushing things. Because, let me see, should I pull up one? See, like this one, it doesn't have anything to it. So then I just usually stick it right back. Let's see. Oh, I think that one I have something in there. Okay. That one, I think I might have to do a different video. If I'm gonna lift it up, because I actually felt it resisting and something tore. I don't know if any of you have ever tried to lift up something and accidentally tore a little root. That's what it feels like. So I'm gonna actually tip it upside down. All right, let me just do it now. Except this box is so heavy, I can't. Okay, so let me just show you this video real quick of all the rose cuttings. So right now I'm gonna go find a pot, stick all of these cuttings in there, and then pray that it will continue to grow and produce, and then I'll have roses at my new place. Thank you for watching, you guys. I'm going to get everything set up, and then I'll do another video. Today's going to just be all about gardening and videotaping. So I hope you will follow along, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.